Picture this. The year is 65 AD in Rome. There is a man named Seneca, one of the richest people in the entire Roman Empire. By today's standards, he would be a billionaire. He advised Emperor Nero, owned massive estates, slaves, and enormous amounts of gold. One day, Seneca writes a letter to a friend and says something that completely changes how we see money. He writes, "It is not the man who has too little who is poor, but the one who desires more." That was written 2,000 years ago, yet it sounds like it was written for us today. Stay with me, because I'm going to explain why you're probably trapped in the same mental loop people were trapped in back then, and how to escape it. Think about this. Why is it that someone earning $3,000 a month can be genuinely happy, while someone earning 10 times more constantly complains about money? It sounds irrational, but Seneca already understood the reason. The problem is not how much money you have. The problem is how much money you want to buy. That difference changes everything. Let me give you a very real example. You know someone who just got their first job, earning a modest salary, and they're genuinely excited about life. They go out, buy what they need, and feel satisfied. A year later, they get a raise. Do they become twice as happy? No. Now they want a better car, a nicer apartment, more expensive clothes. Suddenly, what once felt like enough now feels insufficient. That's exactly what Seneca was warning about. The finish line keeps moving. And here's the most interesting part. Seneca wasn't poor. He wasn't a monk preaching detachment from the woods. He was extremely wealthy. And yet he noticed that many rich people around him were miserable. Rich, but mentally poor. He understood something powerful. You can own 1,000,000 gold coins, but if you want 2,000,000, you are poor. You can have very little, but if you are satisfied, you are rich. Wealth doesn't live in your bank account. It lives in your mind. Now you might be thinking, I need more money to live better. And that's true. Money matters. You need food, shelter, and security. Seneca was not saying you should reject money. He was warning about a dangerous trap. You tell yourself, when I earn this amount, I'll finally relax. You reach it, and immediately want more. Then more. Then more again. It becomes an endless treadmill. You never arrive. And here's something rarely mentioned. Even the richest people in the world struggle with this. Someone with 100 million compares themselves to someone with 200 million and feels behind. The human ego is a comparison machine. As long as you compare yourself to others, you will always feel poor. Now look at modern life. You open social media and see constant luxury. Trips, expensive clothes, perfect dinners, luxury cars. What you don't see is the debt, the anxiety, the pressure to maintain appearances. Many people are just as trapped as you are. The only difference is that their prison has golden bars. Seneca had a way to protect himself from this mindset. He practiced what he called the rehearsal of poverty. From time to time, he lived as if he had nothing. Simple food, no luxury, basic clothing. Why? To remind himself that he could survive without excess, to weaken attachment, to prove to his own mind that losing wealth would not destroy him. You don't need to sleep on the floor to apply this idea, but ask yourself, how often do you spend money out of habit, not necessity? How often do you buy things just because they're discounted? How often do you justify debt because the monthly payment is small? These are all symptoms of the same issue. Desire controlling you, instead of you controlling desire. And I'm not speaking from a position of perfection. I fall into this too. Recently, I almost bought something expensive that I didn't need, simply because I saw others using it. Desire has nothing to do with necessity. It has everything to do with ego and comparison. You buy the thing, feel excited for a few days, and then return to the same baseline. This is called hedonic adaptation. Your brain gets used to everything. So what's the solution? Seneca was very direct. Set a limit. Decide what is enough. And when you reach it, stop moving the goal. Most people never define enough. They only chase more. But more is not a destination. Here's something practical. Write down the income level that would make you feel financially calm. Be honest and realistic. Enough to cover your needs, bring comfort, and allow enjoyment. Work toward that number. And when you reach it, acknowledge it. Everything beyond that becomes a bonus, not a requirement. Seneca also said something even deeper. Life is long if you know how to use it. People waste enormous energy chasing money they don't need, to buy things they don't want, to impress people who don't care. Then one day they look back and wonder where their life went. Real wealth is not money, it's time, freedom, mental peace, and you can start building that today. Here are 3 steps you can apply immediately. First, Stop following content that revolves around constant luxury. If it makes you feel inferior, remove it. Second, define your number. Without a finish line, you will run forever. Third, practice daily gratitude. Acknowledge what you already have. This shifts your mind from scarcity to abundance. Seneca was one of the richest men in Rome, yet he spent his final years writing about how wealth is meaningless without control over desire. When Emperor Nero ordered his death, Seneca accepted it calmly. He spoke with friends and faced death in peace. Why? Because he had already understood that nothing external has the power to make you truly happy or unhappy. So here's the question I'll leave you with. How much is enough for you? Write it down, work toward it. But when you arrive, stop running. Life is not about accumulation, it's about living. Test this week. Define your number, stop comparing. Practice gratitude. If this changed the way you think, share it with someone who needs it. And let me know in the comments what you realized. See you next time.